No, because this post about teacher pensions made me so mad, so let's talk about it. And if you're like, who is this girl? My name's Kristen. I'm a teacher, a union president, and more importantly, I talk about teacher issues all across the country. And most importantly, I speak the facts. So when I saw this post talking about how teachers could work 20 years and get a $100,000 pension, I said, mm-mm. And I already made a post showing that this wouldn't happen even in a state like New York. So now let's talk about New Jersey. In New Jersey, we have 5 pension tiers. 5. That is terrible. And Phil, Mikey, if one of you guys is watching this, y'all should really do something about it. We're going to talk about what salary you would need as a teacher in order to have a pension that is $100,000. And we're going to talk about tier 1 and tier 5. And for both scenarios, we're going to imagine that you retire at the age of 55 after starting teaching at the age of 22. So 33 years of experience at 55 years old. Tier 1, which is widely considered the gold standard of a pension, you would take your years of service divided by 55, which would be 60%. And then you're getting 60% of your final average salary. And in order for that to be a $100,000 pension, your final average salary would have had to be $166,000. And I'm telling you right now, that's not happening if you're a teacher. Now let's see what that looks like for tier 5, which is widely considered to be the absolute worst. And it's also what I'm in. For tier 5, you take your years of service and divide by 60, which means you would be getting 55% of your final average salary. Except there's a penalty. In tier 5, if you retire under the age of 65, you lose 3% of your pension per year under 65. So if we're retiring at 55, you're losing 30%. So even though I would be working the exact same amount of time as my tier 1 colleague, remember, we both started teaching at 22 and retired at 55 after 33 years of experience. In this scenario, tier 5 is only getting 25% of their final average salary, which means in order to take home a pension of $100,000, they would have to be making $400,000 as their final average salary. Yeah, that's not happening. All that to say, I don't think any teacher out there, and certainly not in New Jersey, is taking home a $100,000 pension. And I'll be the first to admit that our teacher pensions are still a really good perk of the job. They used to be better, but it's still a good perk. But I just hate when people aren't truthful about them. The most important lesson of this video is that tier 5 absolutely sucks. Phil, Mikey, somebody please help. We're begging you.